Completely random topic. I'm thinking about making Mondays, like adding onto my every Monday video, like a Monday Madness section where I get you guys to send in some of the clips that you guys have been up to and I just share them on the page. If this is something you're interested in, please let me know down below. And we can start Monday Madness. I make it like the start of every video or the end of every video, and it'll just be like clips of you doing whatever you guys do, whatever sport you do, mountain biking, skateboarding, surfing, anything. Mate, you could be a freestyle runner. I don't know, Monday Madness, this is get some mad content out there. I want to help this small community be seen by everyone, because I know as a small creator that like the one thing that you love doing is like if you do something sick, you just want everyone to see it. And if I can help you do that, I'll be pretty stoked to help you guys out. Happy Monday, or whatever day it is that you're watching this video. Now, I am fingers crossed that this video actually does come out on time, because my schedule for this week is looking pretty hectic with a lot going on. So I'm actually filming this on a Tuesday, which is not usually how I like to do my YouTube videos. I'm more of like a shoot Saturday, edit Sunday, upload Monday type of guy. But this week I've just got a lot of crazy stuff going on. The Dome opens up tomorrow, which is just going to be crazy. So if you've seen the title of this video, you know that I'm talking about a lens today, which is exciting for me. When it comes to camera stuff, I obviously love it. I sort of nerd out and I watch a lot of camera specs and all that other jazz, but there never seems to be the camera review video that I'm after. Now, nothing against people that do camera reviews, obviously they do really good jobs, but for me and the type of area that I mainly work in when it comes to photography and also video is mainly action sports, where a lot of these reviews will be you know, around just basic reviewing of shit. Which is great, but not for my liking. So I currently have the Sony 70-180mm F2.8. This guy has been fantastic. It is it probably is my go-to lens, even in situations where like it shouldn't be used, but I'll find a way to make it work. It has been great up until the Dome actually was blown up, and the lighting in there is very difficult and challenging to work with, and an F4 lens just does not let in enough light. It's as simple as that. The aperture in this guy is too high. For obviously shooting motocross, your rider is moving at a reasonably quick pace, so you do need to have quite a quick shutter speed. So yeah, at a shutter speed of 1/500th of a second with an aperture of f4, you're pumping a lot of ISO into the image and it doesn't look too crash hot. And now, so this guy's older brother obviously comes in at a whopping like 4.1, I think, Australian. Like it's absurd the amount of money it is for the F2.8 version of that lens. Now, I use Tamron lenses. I'm currently filming on the 28-75 or whatever the hell it is. It's a great lens. I really enjoy it. And Tamron have released the 70-180. Now, I don't own this lens. No one's given me this lens. I've rented this lens for a couple reasons. One, because I actually want to test it out. And in the beginning, I guess, of anyone's career, whether it's YouTube, tech reviews, or just in the action world, sports world, camera companies aren't just gonna happily be like, oh hey, stranger who we have no real connection with, even though you spend a lot of money at our shop, test this lens out for free and tell us what you think. So that's not what happened. So this is not sponsored by any means. I paid an $80 rental fee and I've put a $1,000 bond down on this lens. But with the Dome opening tomorrow, there's going to be a lot going on, a lot of sport, a lot of bikes going around. I felt that it was the perfect time to test it out, and if it is as good as what everyone else has said, I'll purchase it. 100% will bite the bullet and I'll purchase this guy. And when I say bite the bullet, I really shouldn't say that, because this guy is almost half the price of the F2.8 version of this guy. But obviously with that a lot cheaper price tag, you do lose things such as image stabilization, which can be a bad thing. For me, when I'm shooting photos, I'm usually shooting at such a quick shutter speed that you won't really see shake. But where it does potentially give me a little bit of trouble with the image stabilization, without having the image stabilization, is going to be for filming. Now, I usually film most of my stuff with this guy on a monopod, and I can usually get most of the footage like pretty stable, to be honest, because obviously this does have optical steady shot, where this won't. But I guess the other thing, the other positive to this guy is that this guy is actually light enough to work on a gimbal. So that's going to be interesting. I wish I had time to go shoot actual mountain biking, but unfortunately I don't, and I feel like shooting motocross is probably the exact same thing. So the only other real test, I guess, is the size of this guy, and you can see that this guy obviously is a lot bigger, and I know you can't obviously see the weight of it, but it is also a lot lighter. So when I do go riding on those days and I do want to pack a tele lens in my little hip pack, this guy does fit a lot more nicely in my little hip pack than what the Sony does. So I guess if you're a mountain biker out there and you ride with a hip pack, the lens definitely fits in there a lot nicer than what the Sony equivalent does. So what I think will happen for this video, sorry because I'm making this on the fly right now, is that obviously I'll go shoot tomorrow, I'll take some photos, I'll take some videos, and then I think Friday I should have some time to give my thoughts on how the lens goes, and yeah, just my general review of this lens and how I realistically feel about it. But yeah, so I'll see you guys then. I completely forgot to mention the fact, and you can see, this is look, reviews, they're not my thing yet. I'm working on it. The more I do them, the better I'll get. The other big thing that is the difference between this guy, its older brother, is the fact that this is a 70-180, so you are losing that 20mm of reach with the lens. But obviously with the Sony, you have the ability to shoot and crop, so you can sort of gain it back, or in my opinion, just walk closer. You know, like, it's not that hard. But in some situations, I understand you can't. But yeah, I'm lucky enough that if I'm on the track, I could probably take that, you know, extra little bit of gain, seeing as I'm the media guy and I'm allowed to be on the track. But anyway, yeah, let's get into some footage, photos, and whatever else I do. Hello, how are we all going, guys? It is now Friday. I returned the lens yesterday. I obviously shot the opening day with it. I filmed some stuff. I took a lot of photos with it. And I guess now we will have a look at what I got up to. It'll be a screen recording, or it'll be images here and there. I think it'll be a screen recording, and I'll make myself really, really small in the bottom corner or something like that. How does that sound? Sounds pretty good. But yeah, so we'll start off looking at some of these photos, just how they track. Obviously every photographer shoots differently. For me, I usually just set myself a large, in the Sony settings, there's like, you can set a large area to have the camera focus on. Depending on how I'm framing my shot, I usually just set it there and let the camera do its thing. When we do get into some of the video stuff, I obviously did shoot a lot of that manually, with manual focus, so you know, it doesn't really show how well the lens tracks, but there obviously is some other stuff that was shot with autofocus to show you how well the lens did track people as well. Cool, but anyway, let's just look at the first image here. The file cannot be found. I just imported you. Why are you doing this? Anyway, ignore this up the top here. It says the file cannot be found. The files are definitely there, as you can see. And I don't know what the hell Lightroom's doing. I just literally imported all of these files, unless for some reason my hard drive's still definitely plugged in. Lightroom is just being a piece of poo. So yeah, as you can see here, the camera does track him really, really well as he comes over this little tabletop, and it doesn't miss a beat. Obviously, it does sort of help that section there is a lot of light, and you know, it makes it easier for the camera to pick up the writer. The dome does challenge most cameras, I believe, when it comes to finding its focus. It just, a lot of weird light inside there. But But anyway, yeah, just another shot of, you can see that it tracks him really, really well through this section of the jumps. And then obviously, you know, same thing again, just tracks like really, really well. And then we'll jump into a berm. So for these shots here, I did have my camera set to be focused on the center, because the money shot, in my opinion, here would be that image right there. So as you can see with these, as we go through this sequence, it does lose focus here, because, you know, my focusing area is over here somewhere. So that's more of a user error, but in my opinion, I don't necessarily want that shot anyway. The shots before it, like that one there, and this shot here where you can see their eyes, like that's the shot that I'm looking for. If anything, I probably could have got a little bit lower just so I could shoot more up into the helmet. That's just a that is just the type of style of image I like to try and capture. I don't know, if you can see someone's eyes, you can really like get a good feeling of the emotion that person's feeling. Like this one, for instance, is like super focused and stuff like that. And then we'll scroll past it. I didn't realize how many photos of him I actually put in here. Same thing again in that berm. Does the job. Misses it a little bit earlier here because he actually drops a bit lower. But, you know, the shots that I was after were these ones here, which I got. And that was at 122mm, if anyone was curious. And now, I guess the other question is, did I feel like I missed that extra 20mm? I'm not going to say I did. I'm really not going to say I did. I'm not going to say I did. But anyway, we'll continue on. Quick little funny story. This rider here that you can see is in focus while there is someone walking in front of the camera. I'm really confused as to why the file could not be found when I just imported these. But anyway, I don't do reviews very often, especially not camera reviews and photo reviews. This rider here, funnily enough, I've actually worked with him before. His company worked with my dad's company, and I was filming and documenting a switchboard upgrade a couple months ago. Yeah, a couple months ago. And he was one of the crane drivers. So I asked him to help me out with an interview clip again, and I was like, oh, return off, you know, make sure I shoot a lot of photos of you. So this is why there's obviously lots of photos of this guy in particular. I don't know his name. Nice guy though. Anyway, so as you can see, I have one of the marshals walk in front of the shot, and this is what I find so amazing, is that it's still, you know, it's still in focus. Like, it's still in focus. It then grabs him again. It's not as tack sharp as you would like, but he is still definitely in focus. And then it misses focus, which is just unfortunate, but that's obviously because, you know, that person has walked through the frame. And yeah, this is another dude. Funnily enough, a lot of these images are for people that I asked to help me out throughout the opening day event because I needed, you know, needed that content. So this is another dude. I asked him to help me out with an interview clip. He was happy enough to say a couple words about the joint, and in return, some content. So yeah, this is just him coming out of the berm, and the camera just tracks him the whole time, no questions asked. This is one of the ladies that was riding throughout the night, a bit of a darker image. In the middle of the dome, from like a photography point of view, it does get a little bit dark. Obviously all the lighting is on the outskirts, so the center does get a little bit dark. But yeah, even in like a darker scenario, and especially with like her clothes being a lot more darker, the camera tracks her perfectly fine. You know, I can't say there was anything wrong with its photo capability. Like, it didn't really miss a beat. It tracked really, really well. It locked on with eyes really, really well. I don't believe I have one of those, like I can record my EVF. I think that's in like the newer Sony cameras. I would have loved to do that, but in saying that, I was like so focused on just making sure I took enough photos for the dome that my little YouTube channel definitely didn't come to the forefront of my mind. But yeah, so photo wise, this camera absolutely crushes it. This lens absolutely crushes it. And then obviously, you know, for the money, I don't know, I never felt like any of the images were like not stable either, but that's obviously because I was shooting so fast. I reckon we quickly jump in to some of the videos though. So we've got open day, and I've marked some of the clips here from the day just so we can have a look at them. So we've got this first clip here. Now I do believe this clip here I was shooting manual, so my focus was set to the landing, as you can see, as all the riders come into frame. What I was trying to do here was obviously track the rider in focus as they were landing. I think this clip shows like a really good, obviously the stability of the lens, and it's not that bad. I was shooting with a monopod just to help me with that, just to help give me that little bit of extra stability. I really wish I shot that clip with the camera just doing its thing, and I didn't have to, I didn't have the pressure of trying to get the shot and just would have allowed to see what the camera was going to do. Obviously, when it comes to shooting work, you sort of want to make sure you get the shot. That's why I was shooting manually. I just find that for me personally, I just prefer to do that. That's just the way I like to shoot. I just like taking the control of the camera into my own hands and not allowing the camera to, take control. Even though the Sony does do a really, really good job at picking up people. We'll go on to this clip here, which is purely just the camera and the lens. This is autofocus. I haven't played anything here. As you can see, I'm zooming in, and that's just the camera doing its own thing. And you can see it's a little bit shaky, but realistically, this clip here, I would probably use this section of the frame here. That would be it there. And the shakiness at the end is obviously me pulling away. We'll have a couple look at some other ones. This is some other handheld stuff for the guys. A little bit shaky to start, but then, hold on a second. A little bit shaky at the start, but then once I actually compress and get the shot that I'm after, reasonably sturdy for what it is. And if you're going to use that in post, chuck a warp stabilizer on it and stuff like that, it'd look alright. Moving on, I do believe I have another clip that was purely just autofocused. Why have I got this clip? This clip is yeah. The reason why I shot that clip there is because the camera just tracked the rider. So if you were to look at this, so out of focus, but then it picks up the rider and tracks the rider pretty well, and that's handheld again. We'll quickly just jump a look. Quickly, we'll have a look at these other clips I did. This clip looks like it was filmed with the 70-180. It definitely was. Once again, this is a manually filmed clip, so the focus is, I'm controlling the focus myself. But yeah, I guess it's realistically just looking for that stability. We all know that alright, here we go. This is another clip where it's, the camera's, it's obviously shot in 120 frames per second because that's why it's lagging like a dog. But another clip where the camera, this is all autofocus from the camera. What I really enjoy about that clip there, even though it's probably not exactly a winner in my opinion, let's just pause it where it needs to be. So the money is right there. So, and as you see, the camera picks him up perfectly fine. So the lens works, it's all perfectly fine. And then as I start to track and he comes out of the center of the frame, obviously we lose him. I cross past the Marshall, but then as soon as I come back out from that Marshall, the lens, and obviously the camera picks him up straight away, and then, idiot. And then you get him taking off and it loses him. But, it did a pretty good job for that one little sequence there. And then the last one here is going to be in the berm again. I think this might have been the other guy that I was on up, same again. But once again, picks him up really, really well. Where I've got that focus point set, because for me, I'd be slowing this clip down. So right there, whipping him through the burn, nice tack sharp, and then just shoot straight out. I'd be speed ramping that back up, and yeah, wham bam, take you Sam. Overall, the lens did everything I needed it to do. It didn't necessarily like blow things out of the park. Like it definitely did really, really well. Obviously having that lower aperture is like the biggest benefit for shooting inside the dome. And realistically is a bigger benefit even if I go shoot out in the bush with like, you know, the bush, I don't ride in the bush, but like I shoot outside mountain biking as well. So it very well could be a lens that I do upgrade to, but at the moment I really think I should try out the Sony 70-200 at 2.8 because like for that lens to be like so much more expensive, obviously you do get the inbuilt stabilization, you obviously do get that extra 20mm of reach. Like for it to be like an extra $2,000 more expensive, like it must be freaking good. Like it has to be good. So, I don't know. I could completely change my mind and go buy myself this Tamron lens like today. I'm not really too sure. I did enjoy it. It was a fantastic lens. I loved shooting with it. It was so much fun. But I guess the question for me, and I guess for a lot of people, is like, can you afford the $4,000 for the bigger lens, or do you want to pay for the cheaper lens and then maybe grab yourself another lens? Like for me personally and what I'm shooting, I think the smarter option would be to buy the 70-180 F2.8 and then maybe buy myself like a Sigma 135 f1.8. Because that 135mm, like that aperture, would just be so good for inside the dome. I would never have a single issue with like light. Even for the center in the middle of the dome where it is dark, it would just make for the best looking photos, I think. But the only downside is it is a prime and you're stuck at the one focal length. But it would take some pretty banging photos, I reckon. And yeah, it's just one of those things, I guess. But I don't know, I might do the same thing again, and I might test out all these lenses before buying this new telephoto lens, because in all honesty, the F4 for that burn shot really well, because it's really well lit up. It's just that it's just the center of the dome shot that I'm like currently trying to figure out in my head on what I want to do. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's something completely different for me for the channel, and just me in general. I haven't really ever reviewed any lenses when I've bought new lenses, because I'm just like, I just want to go use it and I don't really care. And there's obviously so many other YouTubers who actually are proper, like, you know, tech lens review, camera review type people. I don't realistically think I'm that guy. I like to go use equipment out and create cool content, like capture sick sports. Like that's what I'm about. I like doing this stuff. Like the more tech spec side of things, it's not really my jam. Even though like I do thoroughly enjoy it, it's not something I like to like share a lot. But yeah, I don't know. It could be something I'd like to get into in the future. But yeah, besides all that, if you guys did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new around here, maybe consider subscribing. I make videos every single Monday, and yeah, that's pretty much all. That's pretty much it. Yeah, I'll see you guys next Monday. Hope everyone's doing well and all that other jazz. But yeah, with that all said and done, I guess just have a good one, guys. Stay safe. I know, especially in Sydney, even Melbourne, like the Rona is like spreading again. So wash your hands, look after one another, and